by Signet. Good morning, I'm Nath Gardner with SEN News. Wrestling icon Hulk Hogan has died after suffering a suspected cardiac arrest at the age of 71. Paramedics were called to his Florida home but couldn't save the WWF superstar, now WWE. He was credited with transforming wrestling into a family entertainment sport, shooting to global fame in the 80s.
Train, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, be true to yourself, true to your country, be a real American.
Victoria's Juries Commissioner is looking into a major oversight revealed during the Erin Patterson murder trial. Jurors were sequestered in the same hotel as journalists, prosecutors and detectives, with the judge reportedly unaware of the arrangement for nearly 6 days. Bendigo Bank's agency model, the service that operates out of business shop fronts like news agencies, is shutting down. 28 outlets, including those in South Australia and WA, will close from October. In SA, talks yesterday afternoon between public hospital doctors and the state government failed to reach an agreement on a pay deal. Monday has now been set aside to try and find a compromise and avoid doctors walking off the job next Wednesday. A clean-up continues in Perth this morning after a tornado tore through coastal suburbs that ripped up trees and triggered flash flooding. And get ready to drop it like it's hot.
When the pimp's in the crib, mom, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Rumours are rife. US rapper Snoop Dogg will perform at this year's AFL Grand Final. Coming up, SEN Sport. Hawthorn has kicked off round 20 with a 24-point win over the Blues last night. The round continues tonight with the Bombers facing the Dogs and the Sydney Derby. Alex de Minaur is through to the quarterfinals of the Washington Open after beating Easy Lehechka this morning. And Aussie Ben O'Connor has taken out the 117-kilometre 18th stage of the Tour de France.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Yes, good morning. This is Giddy Up with Gareth Hall on this Friday, the 25th of July. It's a big hello to you, wherever you may be listening on your local SEN Track dial or the SEN app. And you're watching us live, of course, these days. And it's great to have your company on the SEN app as we stream live every day, all thanks to Bet365. And we're streaming as well on our YouTube channel and also on our Facebook page. Friday's a lot of fun. We'll try and find you a few winners heading into the weekend, of course. We'll catch up with our great mate Henry Dewey to kick off proceedings. He's over in Newmarket at the moment preparing his Führer for a tilt for more UK glory. And this time she'll be competing at Glorious Goodwood once again. She finished second in the race that she competed at that track last year. It's a Group 2 sprint race. And she'll be competing this time next week or Friday night, our time anyway. So we'll catch up with Henry. From the Melbourne Racing Club, their racing manager Josh Rodder will join us. Toby Lake will join us as well. Phil Dallow, his star filly, will head to Morphettville on Saturday to try and win that Lightning Stakes. Heath Pope, Nick Ashman will catch up with us. We'll catch up with Chris Nelson as well, Andrew O'Toole, Peter Anthonys. and Michael Grantham as we try and find you a few winners with our Metro Bag of Tips. Bag of Tips today as well with the Friday meetings across the 3 codes. We've got our $100 staking plan. You know the drill. Send us your $100 staking plan for this weekend. Rochelle Milnes will also join us, and J-Mac will have a chat to us, hopefully. He's going to ride Lady Shenandoah at the Warwick Farm Trials, so we'll have a chat to J-Mac as well. 5 minutes past 8, Giddy Up brought to you by Bet365, because it's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. So looking forward to finding some winners this weekend. But before we do all of that, let's catch up with Henry Dwyer, who's in Newmarket at the moment. It's on a Thursday evening there. He's getting set to work as Führer on a Friday morning. He's about to join us now. G'day, Henry.
Don't know how to charge an electric car, do you, Gareth? That would be a good start.
So
really struggling with the new hire car, to be fair.
So why are you hiring an electric car to start with?
That is one of life's great questions, Gareth, and I think I need to take a long, hard look at myself in the mirror, and I won't be repeating the mistake again. But in the short term, we don't worry about our shortcomings. We worry about how to get the problem fixed, and it's not working at the moment.
So what solution?
We will endure.
What solution are you coming up with? Because we're recording this interview a little earlier this morning because it's 9:30, I think, in Newmarket at the moment. So what have you got planned? Does Harry Eustace know how to do it, or could you give John Gosden a call to help you out?
Well, I've just been down to the local servo, and it's taken me 45 minutes to get 10% charge, Now I've come back to Bedford Lodge, and there's 4 chargers here, none of which are working. So what a great idea these things were.
You got the family with you too, haven't you?
No,
they headed back, yeah.
They'd be hell to pay if we had the family and the lack of electric charge, I can tell you that much.
Did you enjoy your little holiday?
Lovely. Yeah, good to get the kids over here and see a few sights and do the rest of it, but back to business now.
Glorious Goodwood, can you conquer Glorious Goodwood this time next week?
I'm hoping, Gareth. We nearly did last year. She went within a hair's breadth of getting the job done and didn't have the greatest of luck there. So I know it's hard to line up and say that they're going to run the same race they did last year, but indications are good. She's well, so no reason she can't. It's she's 6-4 in the market, so that's a fair reflection of probably the opposition more so than how she's going. But yeah, on her run last year, she probably just wins, but whether she's at that level, we'll find out.
But can you give us a guide? Do you think she is at that level? Can you see at home since she's competed at Royal Ascot
since her last run? Yeah, she definitely improved. Like we went into that run knowing she was only she looked pretty average, and we weren't overly happy with her. But you got to run, you're here for it. And then we had a good break between that and Goodwood, so we had the opportunity to give her 2 weeks in the paddock, which did her the world of good. She put on a bit of weight and looked better for it, and she's starting to acclimatise a bit. But I think, to put it in context, we're about the same as we were heading into Ascot last year. Yeah. And the first up run was about where we were heading into Haydock last year when she went poorly. So, I think timing-wise we're good. And post Goodwood, we can go to York and maybe Ireland and France, and she should be able to, cope with that sort of preparation off the timeline we've had so far.
And I think the only horse that we have to beat is Big Evs, isn't it, for Michael Appleby, or is there a few others?
Big Mojo. So Big Evs was last year.
Yeah.
So stablemate in the same colour as Big Mojo. So he won the Malcolm, the 2-year-old race at Goodwood last year. So he obviously handles the track. He ran second in the July Cup the other day. He's a nice horse. And then Harry next door, Harry Eustace, he's got Time for Sandals, who won the 3-year-old Group 1 at Royal Ascot. But both those races, Big Mojo and Time for Sandals, ran last time, were 6 furlongs as opposed to 5 furlongs. And the 1,000 metres, 5 furlongs at Goodwood is very, very sharp. They pretty much start at the top of the hill and run downhill for 1,000 metres. So whether they're sharp enough for that, I don't know. But I think we probably are. So that's why we're favourite.
And this is her cup of tea, really, isn't it? This is, if you had to line up all of her European campaigns, would this be if you had to say, well, if I had to win one race, or my best chance of winning one race, it would be at Glorious Goodwood?
I'd say, given it's a Group 2, it's probably going to be, strength-wise her best chance, but I think York's probably her best track, a nice flat 1,000. So the way things are working out, she should be 85 or 90% going into Goodwood and maybe 100% going into York. So I'm hoping that's the case anyway.
Yeah, perfect. And O'Shea Murphy, does he ride?
Yeah, so he's skipping down here tomorrow morning to gallop her on the July course here, the race course. So she'll work with one of Harry's horses and have a pretty solid gallop, which will be her main piece of work between Ascot and Goodwood, really. So, as I said, we gave her 2 weeks in the paddock, and she's had a couple of easy gallops in the last 2 weeks since she's been back in work, but this will be it, and that'll get her to Goodwood, and she'll use Goodwood to come on for York.
So Goodwood, York, and then I found it hard to believe, and I was watching a clip with you with the UK media that if you start in Ireland, you'll be the first Australian trainer to have a starter in Ireland, which I find hard to believe.
That's been debunked.
Oh, has it?
Slightly, because the only one we can find is Big Blue, but it never came up in the database searches because it was in the jumps races.
Okay.
So I reckon it came over last year, and it had one run in Ireland on the way through to Cheltenham.
Yeah.
So we can say we're the first flat horse to race in Ireland anyway.
And she'll be a massive chance. Where would that race be in Ireland?
At the Curragh. So it's a 1,000-metre flat track, straight track again, Group 1, and then you're 3 weeks to Arc Day at Longchamp, which is another 1,000-metre Group 1 race on a flat track. So both good opportunities for her if she can sort of stay sound and happy and healthy.
You just asked Aidan if you could stay at Ballydoyle in between runs, catch the flight over with him.
I think we'll have more fun with Johnny Murtagh.
Yes. So you're living the dream, mate. I can't believe you're not going to America with her just to cap it off.
Yeah, well, there's a tipping point, I suppose, and we're being pretty busy with her. So America's just probably a bridge too far. But, we'll do what we can here and just aim to get a win out of it. I'd be more than happy if she won one of these races. Pay for the trip and give us a bit of a thrill and add to her resume.
And look out, glorious Goodwood. You've got some contingent coming with you to Goodwood.
Some contingent, yeah. No, there's an illustrious group of people coming over, Gareth. I think we've got 18 at the Goodwood Ball on a Thursday night, and then about 20 at the races on Friday. And that's the good thing about being over here, because you're a bit of an anomaly. Obviously, they love having international horses running because they get so many more eyeballs on their racing, particularly Goodwood. Like Ascot's Ascot, they're going to get foreign interest, but Goodwood is sort of that next tier of carnival down, and it's terrific. And I had a ball there last year, but it's not sort of globally recognised. And for them to have an Australian horse competing really does wonders for their bottom line. So they throw out the red carpet and they put on boxes and all the rest of the hospitality. So it's you're looked after like royalty, and it's certainly worth doing if you can.
Well, I'm jumping on the bandwagon. I can't wait to get to Goodwood, and we'll do a little bit of content for our listeners on Giddy Up, and we'll follow you around if that's okay, and it'll be a little bit of fun, I reckon.
Bit of fun, you reckon?
Yeah, a bit of fun.
Bit of SEN sponsorship budget surely can chime in for a little patch on us colours or something.
Yeah, 100%. I'll see what I can organise. How much it costs me, yeah.
Talk to the Ultimate Hotel.
Yes.
It'll be a very, very good value for you.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it, mate. I can't wait. I think it's great for Australian racing to have a mare like yours doing what she's doing, and Glorious Goodwood, such a famous carnival that a lot of people that I talk to say it's their favourite carnival to go to. So I'm looking forward to that experience, mate. It'd be great if you can get the chocolates, and look out. Look out.
Actually, SEN could be my electricity sponsor. Actually, that'd be handy if we could sort that out.
We'll probably see if we can organise you a car right now. So we wish you the best of luck there, mate. Hopefully you can get that car fixed and away you go. But good luck galloping her before the big dance in just a week's time now, mate. But we appreciate you staying up, and hopefully it's not too frustrating for you for the rest of the night.
We'll see how we go. But, as I said, get through tomorrow, and we're tapering off for a week and get her there safe and happy and well, and she'll run a good race, I'm sure.
Beautiful, mate. I can't wait. I'll get my suit ready to go. Is it just normal suit that you wear to Goodwood?
Very summery there. You'll need some sort of light linen number, maybe a pair of loafers. They're big on the Panama hats. You'll be able to buy a Panama hat there. You'll look great in that. But, very warm, very, very summery. A lot of Pims. It's just a very good, enjoyable carnival. So
all right, then.
You like it.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, mate. We appreciate your time. Go and get them.
Under duress. Righto, thanks, mate.
There's Henry DeWye there, the trainer as Fura, who's ready to go for that Group 2 race. This time next week, it'll be Friday night Australian time that she'll be competing in that Group 2 event at Glorious Goodwood. Time for a quick break. We'll come back with plenty more on this Friday morning.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up, 0499 736 736 to join our conversation. We are doing our staking plans today, so get them in. $100 spend. Let us know what you do with that $100 this weekend. And whoever delivers the best staking plan, I'll put a Bradman on for you next week. You can come onto the show and whatever your staking plan or multi-years next week, we'll place that for you. So 0499 736 736. And let's send them in. Hopefully we can find a few winners this weekend. And I should have mentioned this at the top, but we had to go to that interview I did with Henry Dwyer because he was staying up for us. But Hulk Hogan passing away overnight. He was a hero of mine growing up, Hulk Hogan. One of my favourite, now wrestling's not a sport, but to me growing up it was a sport. My favourite moment with Hulk Hogan was Andre the Giant and those Royal Rumbles when he defeated Andre the Giant. He used to pick himself up like Northerly when you thought he was gone and he couldn't go on, and then he would get on his knees and shake his head 3 times. He was a legend. He transcended wrestling in a way. Everyone knew who Hulk Hogan was. So, yeah, he's going to be missed. What a legend and legacy he will leave. 21 minutes past 8. Let's catch up with Josh Rodder. He is a superstar. He's one of the most popular men or individuals in racing anywhere. Everybody loves Josh Rodder. He's the boss of racing, the racing manager there at the MRC, and he joins us now. G'day, Josh.
Good morning, Gareth, and good morning to all our friends in the land of SEN Track. Talking about Hulk Hogan,
yeah.
Gareth, my brother and I, the suplex off the top bunk in our bedroom was often the finishing move, but Hulk Hogan, my childhood right there. WrestleMania 3 for me, Andre the Giant, outdoor stadium.
Yes.
I don't know how many were there. There was nearly 100,000 people. And, an amazing, a great time to be alive. Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Yes,
Greg the Hitman Hart. Some great names.
My brother knocked out his 2 front teeth trying to jump from bunks, trying to be Hulk Hogan. No, but great memories. And he's left us far too soon at the age of 71. But I walked into the SEN offices today and everybody's talking about him. So, yeah, it's a sad day for a lot of people. So rest in peace, great man. Plenty happening at the MRC, mate. It's a great meeting, isn't it, in the winter, the Bletchingley Stakes. The field's a handy enough one, I reckon, it's a Group 3 race in the middle of winter. But I reckon Melbourne especially have done extremely well regarding the winter program. Usually you can get a little bit disenchanted in a way, but the way yourself and the VRC put together these programs, it does keep the racing fan interested, I reckon, during these months.
I agree, Gareth. I think the last month and the majority of this winter off-season, the fields have really held up well and as good as I've probably seen. This Saturday, the Big Screen Company Caulfield's season finale. Yeah. Always this last meeting's quite strong, especially with these 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds that are just about to transition to open company for the 3-year-olds and the 2-year-olds into their 3-year-old year. They get that last crack at their own age, and the 2 3-year-old races have really stood up well. The 2-year-olds, some real interest there. Looking forward to seeing Autumn Mystery return.
Yes.
I love this story. Rory Hunter worked underneath Mick Price there at Caulfield, did a lot of the hard yards, learned from one of the best, and he's now at Mornington in a family-run operation with mum and dad and his brother Angus, and doesn't have a big team in work, but this is a promising son of the Autumn Sun. I don't know if he can win on Saturday, but he's one I really want to follow, and we're very proud of what our Mornington racing community achieved. They've always punched above their weight. And across the card there tomorrow, there's some really good chances from the Mornington Training Centre.
I was talking to Shane Nichols yesterday. Like, the Mornington trainers are going extremely well. They're producing Group 1 winners from that training complex, and there's some great trainers. In fact, I was going to ask you if you can help me out with the track conditions there, because I reckon our great mate Johnny McCardle can train a winner there tomorrow at Caulfield if it's a heavy track and the rain comes today with El Rocco. Geez, I know it's 1,600 metres, but I like that race and how it sets up for him with little pace there on paper anyway in race 7. But the Mornington trainers have done a remarkable job, especially the last year, Josh.
Gareth, this is generational.
Yeah.
If you go back in our trainers' room there at Mornington, just next to the mounting yard, we did a little project and we put up the Mornington Marvels.
Yes.
You go back to the early 60s, horses like Tudor Hill, back-to-back Doncasters, Silver Bounty from the Carson family, Hariba, Jim Marconi. Like, he just knocked up training good horses out. And so, they've done it for a long time, and the current crop of Mornington trainers continue to do a great job. Soft 5 at the moment. The rails at 4. We raced at True at the last meeting for the Monash, and we were 12 at the meeting before. So we're going to start off. I think the rain, I can already see it on the radar coming across the border, and it's going to hit.
Yeah.
I think it might come tonight and throughout the morning, so hopefully it stops before race time. But if we get the full brunt of that rain that's predicted, I think we'll be, definitely in that soft to heavy range. So horses like you said, El Rocco, that's what he's looking for.
Yeah.
He's in good form. And there's another one there from the Tony Newton stable early in the card.
Yes.
Herbert Park.
Yep.
Now, this mare loves it wet. The blinkers go on. Jake Noonan goes on for Dad Tony, and at big odds, I thought he could run a race if the conditions, do get soft.
$26 and $6. I highly recommend you have something on Herbert Park now, because Herbert Park won't be that price tomorrow. I can guarantee you that.
Right.
It'll be half that price. And El Rocco won't be $14, only because there might be even a few scratchings if that rain comes and it's a heavy track as well. So there's a couple of horses that you can identify that will get through a heavy track that you should be backing now, that you're getting value for. And you've hit the nail on the head with Herbert Park. It is a horse that will lap up those conditions if the rain comes, as expected. There is plenty happening at Caulfield, but you've got I wanted to ask you about the Blue Diamond and the nominations there. When do they open? If you've got a yearling or a rising 2-year-old? Yep.
Yeah, they've opened now, Gareth, and they close on Monday, August 12th. So anyone that wants to nominate, it's $330 to have a ticket in Victoria's Premier 2-year-old race. Of course, last year, Devil Knight took out the race, son of a Blue Diamond winner in Extreme Choice, and went on to run 5th in the Golden Slipper for Team Hawke. So it's always been a great guide for our young horses, and it is early, but to take a ticket in the Blue Diamond Stakes to go in now. Otherwise, there's a late nomination fee at various stages. But last year we had 1,479 nominations. Foal crop has continued to decline, and these numbers of nominations have declined over the years. And there's no doubt the trainers are training their horses differently, not necessarily pushing them as hard and getting them up and going as early. But one name synonymous with Blue Diamond Stakes is the Hayes family, Gareth. 5 wins to David. And, of course, the young Hayes brothers with Little Bros were able to take out the race a few years ago. So looking forward to seeing who will etch their name on the 2026 Sportsbet Blue Diamond Stakes trophy.
Yes, and it's Victoria's Premier 2-year-old race. It's worth $2 million. And I think the MRC are in for an exciting season. You've made changes to your feature race calendar. The recent prize money announcements were really positive with the MRC. Obviously, your club financially is in a good spot, so you're able to top up some of those races there with the help of the VRC, but mainly because of the situation you are in with your finances. So that final day of the carnival, which has changed around a little bit, we'll see the All Stakes, the new 3-year-old race now, the Thoroughbred Stakes worth, $1 million. You got the guineas on that day as well. That's going to be an exciting finale, I reckon, to the carnival. Something a little bit different.
Yeah, very interesting finish with a weight for age 1400, the CF4 Stakes. Always been a good horses race. And, of course, on the day too, complementing that race is the new, we've always had a Thoroughbred Club Stakes, but run at $1 million for 3-year-old fillies. So a 3-year-old fillies grand final with the potential for that race to really grow. So looking forward to that day. But I can tell you one card that I think snuck under the radar in all this discussion, Gareth, is Underwood Stakes Day.
Yes,
so the Rupert Clark Stakes so the Rupert Clark Stakes has moved back to that card. So you've got the Naturalism, which is the win in your end of the Caulfield Cup, that golden ticket, not far out from our major. You've got the Rupert Clark Stakes back to its original home, the old Show Day Cup. And the weight for age 1800 Group 1 Underwood Stakes all had, a great prize money and a Guineas Prelude to complement that. So that's a card you really want to get involved in. And if you want to pick a card early in the spring or a race day you want to attend, it could be the one, Underwood Stakes Day, one I'm really looking forward to.
It'll be interesting to see what field you get for the Underwood, because last year the cards didn't fall your way in the fact that some of the stars went to a fee and because it just worked a little bit better with the calendar. But that might change this year.
Yeah, an injection of prize money into the Underwood Stakes.
Yeah. And I would imagine that's the reason why that Kanga and the team yourself that have done that, to make sure that doesn't happen again in a way.
Well, it's one of our oldest races. It's a race that came across from Williamstown. It's a great race, great weight for age race, and at times it's been one of the highest rated races of the season run on the calendar. So looking forward to it. All lights to be shining on the Underwood Stakes in 25.
Now I'm going to do this is my last day before a little bit of a break. So I'm doing my favourite moments of the racing season, and the Caulfield Cup is definitely in that conversation with Harry Coffey. I reckon it would be most people's number one highlight. I reckon one of the great stories in Australian racing history, Harry Coffey winning that Caulfield Cup.
Oh, it was magic, and to be there, and a fantastic ride, and don't undersell that ride. He knew the horse he had. He knew who he was riding for, and his ride made the difference. And not forgetting, the likes of Zach Purton and Karis Teaton and all those international jockeys were riding there. And Harry just, he made the race his. And fantastic story. And Kieran Ma, who that's where he first took that next step, Kieran, as a major trainer. I mean, we always knew how great a horseman he was, but Caulfield, is his spiritual home. He did it with Jamaica. Was trained out at Caulfield, the last Caulfield-trained Caulfield Cup winner. And, just a special day at Caulfield for all involved.
Hey, Josh, let's do this on a more regular basis. These text messages are flying through. The love for you, mate. This one from Jared. Gareth, you're chatting to one of the absolute good guys of racing, and Josh, always positive and so accommodating to us experienced, but also the racing novices. Wish him well for us. That's from Jared. So, mate, I'll talk to Kanga. I'll see if I can sign you up, mate.
Oh, thank you, Gareth. I've got big shoes to step into John's shoes, but always a pleasure, Gareth. I love your passion for racing. I love what SEN's doing, and look forward to a massive spring ahead of us. I just wanted to mention one thing, Gareth, around a membership offer that has just been announced around the Jockey Club at Newmarket. Yep. We all know the great value of the MRC membership, the 3 tracks here, Caulfield, Sandown, Mornington, so much wonderful racing here. But we're really looking to delve into these reciprocal rights, not just in Victoria and Australia, but around the world. And during the week, we made a great announcement that we've teamed up with the Jockey Club at Newmarket. We've always had a connection with them through the Princess of Wales and the Jockey Club Stakes as Caulfield Cup ballot exempt races. Okay. This year, Al Godobis took out the Princess of Wales, a race that Godolphin won with best solution before winning the Caulfield Cup. We now have reciprocal rights. So any members of the MRC, when they do head over to Europe and want to head to Newmarket and, the various Jockey Club race courses, you now have the opportunity to do so. So really looking forward to this connection and partnership with the Jockey Club. We're also at a little announcement, which will be in the Inside Racing as the programs get announced, is the Oakley Plate will become a win in your in race for the July Cup. Okay. So really looking forward to working with the Jockey Club and just making that connection with international racing strong. As you know, Gareth, the racing world just keeps getting smaller, and it's really important we all work together.
100%. I'm going over to Glorious Goodwood to cheer on Asfira. We just had Henry on the show, and I can't wait for that. And they tell me Goodwood is one of the great carnivals as well, but that's great for the MRC members, and we've got messages coming through now saying that I don't buy an ATC membership because I get a better deal at the MRC and I get the rights for the ATC. So there's people jumping on the bandwagon there with the MRC because it is looking after the punters. So that is great, mate. Great news. Hey, Josh, we appreciate you coming on Giddy Up. We'll do this more often. Our listeners love you, so we appreciate you coming on, mate. And, bring on tomorrow. Have you got a winner for us tomorrow?
I like, actually, we were talking about Mornington horses earlier. Yes. in this session. I'm actually keen to play Bossy Bonita in race 5. I love the way this mare's going. Michael Megan's done a great job with her. She beat the older horses there at Sandown. She's got that residual fitness. She'll handle any cut out of the ground. Willow to take the ride. There looks to be good pressure in the race. I think she gets that nice stalking spot. And I think she can dictate to the others here. And I know it's a strong race on paper, but I think she might go around a little bit forgotten there, Bossy Bonita, and I like the form she's in.
Beautiful, $4.60 there. Craig Williams takes the ride. And Tom says, don't forget us when you're in WA. We love you there as well, Josh. So everybody's loving you these days right across the country. Good on you, mate. Thanks for that, Josh.
Thanks, Gareth. Happy racing, and to all the listeners.
You're a good man. There's Josh Rodder there from the MRC. He's great for the racing game, and he does a wonderful job for that organisation. And we will use Josh more on this show. He knows a lot of people in the industry. He works with a lot of the trainers, and he's a very good judge as well. It's 8:36. Hey, we'll take a break. We'll come back with plenty more. This is Giddy Up on a Friday morning, all thanks to Bet365.
Powered by Signet, making SEN News headlines. Hulk Hogan, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, has died from a reported cardiac arrest in Florida. He was 71. The price of spirits is set to jump in the second excise increase this year, while draft beer will escape the hikes. Starlink is currently experiencing a worldwide outage, with the satellite service going down this morning. And another American television show has been cancelled. After 32 years, the celebrity-focused E! News has been axed. It comes a week after Stephen Colbert's show was cancelled. Up next, SEN Sport. Hawthorn has kicked off round 20 with a 24-point win over the Blues last night. The round continues tonight with the Bombers facing the Dogs and the Sydney Derby. Alex de Minaur is through to the quarterfinals of the Washington Open after beating Easy Lehechka this morning. And Aussie Ben O'Connor has taken out the 117-kilometre 18th stage of the Tour de France.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Hey, Louie, I'm loving all these multis coming through. You got some work to do. Hey, Gareth, multi for the weekend, a 4-place multi special. Caulfield Race 7 Earlswood into Bridal Waltz, into Scampi, into Tarpaulin. That's 1650 getting up with Bet365. I love that. This is from Patrick from Geelong. Good on you, Patrick. Race 1, number 7, Narswa to win. Race 3, number 1, Jimmy the Bear. And race 5, number 5, Bossy Bonita to win. Then we go $100 staking plan Caulfield and the place race 4. Earlswood the place race 7. This is good tipping as well. In summer, the win race 3. That's about $9.25, that multi. Put your name to it as well, so when we win, we can ring you up and Miles can talk to you next week. Naswar the win, New York Luster the place, pounding the place, $100 at $6. Good on your Damo. Keep them coming in, 0499 736 736. That's 0499 736 736. We'll catch up with Toby Lake next. Toby Lake, of course, the trainer of Fidello. She's going around the Lightning Stakes at Morpheville on Saturday, so we'll catch up with the Bendigo trainer next.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Feature races, we welcome you back to Giddy Up with Gareth Hall in Adelaide tomorrow. It's one of the feature races right across the country. It's the Lightning Stakes. This is always one of my favourite races. It's where you see the late 2-year-olds take on the 3-year-olds in a race like this. Fidello, she's very good. She's a filly going places. She's prepared by Toby Lake. And Luke Curry takes the ride on her on Saturday. And they head to Adelaide to try and get some group glory with Fidello in the Lightning Stakes. And Toby joins us now. G'day, Toby.
Morning, Gareth.
How is she, mate?
Yeah, really good. She's sort of always had this race in the back of our minds for this preparation. So she hits tomorrow 4th up and hard fit, ready to go.
Was it a difficult decision to go to Adelaide instead of staying in Victoria and heading to Caulfield?
Not really. Once the fields come out and she drew barrier 1 at Caulfield, obviously there's a bit of weather around on the weekend. It tends to be the place you don't want to be down on the rail at Caulfield. And she just overdid it the other day without any cover. So it wouldn't be like I'd be asking Jai to use her from that gate. So she's drawn out at Morphettville. A few of the main chances are drawn out around her, and with the rain predicted over there, coming down the middle might be the place to be.
She's a deep field filly. I don't know if she would have seen a heavy track like she might see there tomorrow. What's your thoughts there?
When she won on debut, she won at Kilmore Cup Day. It was a soft 7, and they downgraded it to a heavy 8 straight after her race. So,
and that was a good win that day.
It was. I mean, you never know until you find out. But we're not shying away from it anyway.
Yeah. And when do you head to Adelaide, or is she already there?
She's already there and travelled well, settled in well, and she's favourite and probably deserves to be. Obviously, Willie Clarkin's horse and Peter Robles' horses look sort of the main dangers, but. Obviously there's a lot of rain coming. Who knows, there may even be some more scratchings. And we'll have a good look at the race tomorrow morning.
She's had a wonderful campaign, mate. Do you think this will be the best that we see her this prep, 4th up?
Potentially. She's, sort of the other day she was exposed without cover and she just could see the first couple of 100 metres. She was just overdoing it and just sort of pulled herself into the ground and didn't finish off. And, prior to that, she was 2 from 3 and she split She's an Artist and Bridal Waltz. And, I think Bridal Waltz is one of the favourites in the Bletchingley. So she's probably got the right form lines. Obviously her first time travelling interstate, there's a few things she needs to handle. But, she's got a great racing style and, back around a bend where there looks good tempo. I think she'll be right to the 4th.
And Dandruff, he's got to go up in class from his last start effort at Albury. He heads to Adelaide as well, but we know one aspect about Dandruff there tomorrow is that he'll love the heavy conditions.
Yeah, he will. It's great to win the Adrian Legend Memorial the other day.
Well done, mate, with that. Well done.
It's great. Obviously, the Ledgers are they're a great family in racing, and he's sort of getting up in the ratings a bit now. He's a 70 rater and sort of nowhere to really hide with him now. So, white sweat will sort of try and make hay while the sun shines, so to speak. And he ran 3rd there a couple of starts ago, and he's just honest and he likes those testing conditions. So he's a great each way chance.
Go and get him, Tobes. We appreciate your time coming on. Giddy Up as always, mate, especially with your star filly in that Lightning Stakes. We appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Gareth. Thanks for having me on.
He's a good young trainer, going places. He's done a great job with Fidello, Toby Lake, and she's definitely the horse to beat there tomorrow in that Lightning Stakes. We'll take a break. We'll come back with plenty more as we continue on our Metro Bag of Tips. Heath Pope will join us with his best in South Australia and Victoria.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. Great to be with you. 5 minutes to 9 o'clock. Heath Pope joins us now on a Friday. G'day, Popey.
Morning, Gareth.
Where do you want to start? I think we're going to be working on heavy tracks at both venues that you're going to look at, Caulfield and also at Morfordville. Bit of rain around Melbourne town. We're on a soft track at the moment at Caulfield, but the rain today and then tomorrow. We're on a soft 5 at the moment. So where do we start with your plays, mate? We'll start with Caulfield.
I'll start with Caulfield.
Yeah, well, I reckon we'll start with Caulfield.
Okay. The Bletchley?
Yeah, we'll start with Bletchley or whatever you reckon your best bets there.
Okay, let's go to the Bletchley.
Yep.
Basically, I've rated all races, but in the Bletchley, I think there's only one bet here at the prices. I think New York Luster is the play.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be knocking Barracuda, but I just think that barrier it's not going to help it at all, Gareth. By this time of the day, I just don't like the map it's going to get. Solid tempo up front will suit it, but I'm just very wary. And at the price, I just want to. I'm opposing Barracuda, but New York Luster, you just know what you're going to get. It's so honest. I think it's an each way bet to nothing.
So 650, 220 there with Bet365. New York Luster and Vajusasovic prepares Jamie Mellum in the saddle. So that's the feature, the Bletchley. What else do you like in this card, mate? Any other standout to you?
Yeah, let's. Is there any specific races you want to see at Caulfield? Or?
No, really. Race 8, the Bletchley Stakes. We had a look at that. I'm fascinated what you reckon at race 7 because I don't mind El Rocco each way. I reckon this horse on the heavy track, I reckon it'll be a heavy track. 1,600 metres is my small concern, but you know how you like to tell us about the speed maps and tempo on races? Surely this sets up perfectly for El Rocco.
Yeah. I must admit, with my model doing the form, I've only done it on a slow track, Gareth.
Okay.
This is where I'm a bit cautious at the moment in giving selections on Caulfield.
So
like
what about this? So this slow track, do you have an opinion in that 7th race then with your AI and your data?
Yeah, absolutely. Get away from the fence. Tempo in this race will be fast.
Yeah.
Like with my original plays, I've got Moonamek on top.
Okay, yeah. I like Moonamek as well. I was just worried about the tempo. Where does he get to in the run? Because where you looked that up, I think he should have won the other day at Flemington. Nick Ryan told us on Giddy Up yesterday with his $100 staking plan, he's just back Moonamek straight out. He's so bullish about his chances. He'll be in the right part of the track as well.
Yeah, 5th to 8th.
Okay.
According to my model. So again, with tempo up front being strong, it gets conditions to suit.
Yeah.
Forgot You. I think this is one you've really got to respect.
We can't forget it. Basically, you're telling us.
Absolutely. Yeah. And even Berkeley Square.
Okay, at a price, Sparkly Square at the top. Yeah. We've got a minute before the news, then we'll get your tips for Morpheville as well. I'm looking forward to that meeting, that Lightning Stakes. How do you think that track will play?
Again, getting off the fence we're going to be in the heavy range. Fence is not the place to be. So,
all right, then.
Lane 6 to 9 will be the place to be tomorrow.
All right, then. So we'll have a look at that straight after the news, that meeting at Morpheville, the highlight there, the Lightning Stakes at group level. Hey, so we'll take the 9 o'clock news. Nick Ashman will join me in that second hour as well. Looking forward to that. Chris Nelson. We'll also catch up with, as I said, Nick Ashman, Peter Anthonys, Andrew O'Toole as the Darwin Carnival rolls on. And Michael Grantham will also join us ahead of a feature race day there at Belmont.
Powered by Signet. Good morning, I'm Nate Gardner with SEN News. An investigation has begun over a serious oversight in the Erin Patterson murder trial. Concerns have been raised after it was revealed jurors were housed in the same hotel as journalists, prosecutors and detectives. The judge was reportedly unaware for nearly 6 days, sparking questions about the integrity of the deliberation process. In WA, an alleged gunman has been arrested after more than 24 hours on the run, after reportedly being involved in a shooting north of Perth on Tuesday night. 53-year-old Jason James Cockey handed himself in late yesterday and is now being questioned by police. There are calls today for an independent review into Australia's decision to lift import restrictions on US beef. Industry groups say they're concerned about the speed of the announcement. On 7, the opposition's Jane Hume has asked what Australia is gaining from the decision.
Is it because we want to secure that tariff exemption with Donald Trump? And if that's the case, well, be explicit about it, because otherwise there's really nothing in this for Australia.
The world of professional wrestling is mourning the loss of one of its most iconic figures. Hulk Hogan, born Terry Jean Bollea, has passed away aged 71 following a cardiac arrest at his home in Florida. He shot to fame in the 80s and helped put the World Wrestling Federation on the world stage. An Elon Musk company, global telecommunication provider Starlink, is experiencing a network outage. Coming up, SEN Sport. Hawthorn's top 4 hopes remain alive after a 24-point win over Carlton at the MCG, Jack Gunston booting 3 goals. WA cyclist Ben O'Connor has taken out stage 18 of the Tour de France, the second stage victory of his career. And Alex de Minaur will take on American Brandon Nakashima in the quarterfinals of the Washington Open after winning his round of 16 match this morning.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Just Giddy up with Gareth Hall. Keep sending in your staking plans. 0499 736 736. Little place multi. Always enough to place. Keep your cool to place. So always enough goes around the Lightning in Adelaide. Keep your cool in the last race at Caulfield and Herbert Park to place. I love that. That's from Ollie. Good morning, Gareth. This week's staking plan is a 4-leg place multi. This is from Jake. Good on you, Jake. At 10-1 with Bet365. Caulfield Race 8, New York Luster, the place. Heath Pope's on the line. He likes New York Luster. Morphettville, Phildello, the place. Toby Lake gave her a good push. Eccentric Nature, race 6, number 13 at Belmont. And race 7, number 4, Sacred Rocks, looks tough to beat, I reckon, at Randwick. That's the place. I like how you're thinking, or how you're thinking there, Jake. Perth guy likes $100 staking plan. Race 1, Narswa at Randwick. Race 3 in summer. In summer at Randwick. So Mickey Gannon was all over that galloper as well. Into Fancy Red in the feature race there. The filly taking on the boys. Fancy Red there at Belmont. So that's from Perth guy. Heath Pope's with us. So Pete, Popey, just recap your best bets at Caulfield before we get on to Morphettville.
I'm only going to say one at the moment,
Yep.
Gareth, with New York Luster. Just with the I was focusing on a slow track. Now being heavy, I just want to reassess things before putting my neck on the block. So
I'll put my neck on the block. Monamek, I reckon, can win along with Al Rocker. I think that's a great 2-horse play in race number 7. Totally agree what Josh Rodder told us with Herbert Park. It's $26 now with Bet365. Herbert Park won't be that price come tomorrow. And I reckon a horse, because they're going to be getting off the fence. Is that what you're reading? How you're reading this race?
Absolutely.
So if they get off the fence, the wider gates, like, I don't know if you want to be extremely wide. I reckon the best might be in the centre of Caulfield tomorrow. But I reckon Hurricane can run a race first up on a heavy track as well at a double-figure price if Benny Mellon can get him into the right spot. So I'm hoping Nick Ryan might have a big day. What about at Morphettville? We'll start off in the Lightning Stakes. Phil Dello, I reckon's the class. Can she win?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a listed race, Gareth, but on my numbers, it's a benchmark 78.
Yeah.
With all respect.
Yeah.
So hence the Melbourne horses coming over are in this right up to their necks.
Yeah.
They're very hard to beat. Big respect. However, with having just said that about being a benchmark 78, there's a horse called Kakala, number 13. It's only coming out of a class 2, but it's what it's done sectionally that really brings it into this race.
Okay.
It beat a horse called Nurtzy last start, which will be over
Caulfield
over
Saturday.
your way.
Yep.
And it destroyed its rivals last start. So it's bringing some pretty good form over to Melbourne. However, Kakala went straight past it as well, beat it on its merits. So what I'm saying is it's come out of Class 2 company and it's going to what I call a weak listed event. So it's right in this as well. However, it's the Melbourne visitors big time I'm respecting in this race.
What else do you like on that program there at Morphettville on Saturday?
Actually, I was going to ask you, Gareth,
yes.
Scampy, is it staying in Melbourne or coming to Adelaide?
I'm pretty sure it's going to Adelaide. Geordie Childs is down to ride. Let me just double check that. I reckon, it's been scratched from Caulfield. Yeah, it's definitely going to Adelaide.
Yeah, because obviously very similar form lines. It's won 4 from 6 on the soft, so you'd have to think it'll go okay on the heavy as well.
Yeah.
Maps really nicely too, so I'm pretty keen on it.
Beautiful. Anything else?
Yeah, mate. So the value play, I think Autumn Bell, race 7, number 4. I know you just spoke to Toby, but in the same race. But the Autumn Bell, that last start win was pretty good. It peaks here 4th up. It was just, again, I look at the sectionals and the mid-race sections in that race, in a stronger race than what it comes into tomorrow, it really rates well for this. And we're getting around $8. This is actually it's my each way best bet of the day.
I apologise too on this. I was talking to Henry and I talked to him off air about his runners there tomorrow. He's got a couple of big chances, but he agrees with you there with that galloper. Each way all day with her, the Autumn Bell.
Oh, absolutely. I honestly, I can't believe the price.
Yeah.
It was only a bit over a year ago. It ran runner-up behind Quickster in a listed event. 2,000 metres is its trip, peaks against a weaker race than what it won last start.
Yeah, I reckon it's definitely the play. Yeah, I like the way.
So that's a great play, Gareth. There's another really good each way play in race 4. This is a race where it's number 1 Vancouver. I tipped this last start at $20. However, I just can't jump off it. It gets in that race that it won. It missed the start by 2, won by 4 lengths running away.
Yeah.
And that was with the blinkers first time. Yeah. This is a race. There's a stack of tempo up front in this. And it's also a race where I'm really keen on opposing the favourite from the block. It's going to be up on that solid tempo and it's just going to be softened up big time. Like last start, it is coming off a 9-length win, but with all respect, it beat nothing. Bankura, again, it's around the $8 mark, and I just can't see it missing each way.
Paul Pruska, $8.255. So the question I posed to you, we'll catch up with you on winners as well, and you can join the fun with our listeners. $100 staking plan, Popey. How would you try and turn that $100 into a profitable day? Because that's the secret. You can tip well, but you got to punt well, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. If I was given $100, like those two plays that I've just mentioned, Bankura and the Autumn Bell, I think if you did $100 place all up,
perfect.
You're going to be, what are you going to be getting? You could be getting around $7.
I tell you what I'm going to get for that, mate. Hang on. What race is the Autumn? She's in race 7, and she...
race 7, number 4, the Autumn Bell.
$7.14 with Bet365 I can get you, mate. That's perfect.
Mate, that's a great play.
Yep.
It's honestly, that's a great play. I would be disappointed if it didn't give us a real big shout for our money. So that's what I would play. That would be my $100 play without any hesitation, Gareth.
Beautiful, Popey. We'll have some fun tomorrow. But it'll be interesting to see how these tracks play and how much rain they do get. But it looks like at the moment, I reckon, we're working on heavy tracks. So I love the confidence in your voice. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Anything else before we let you go?
There's another value play in race 3, actually, number 8. This is a Morpheville.
Yes.
Tropical House. I mean, there's a few at the top of the market which I am respecting. However, to me, it's just overs. It's last time I looked, it was around double figures.
Okay.
I think it should be half that price, but it's the confidence isn't as high as the other two I just mentioned, but it'll run you a good race.
Beautiful.
Race 3, number 8, Tropical House.
Yeah, we're getting 752.70. Jake Stevens, Zach Payne is riding some good form. He takes the ride there. Hey, Popey, love your work, mate. You're looking a treat. We'll catch up with you tomorrow on Winners on SEN Track. We appreciate your time as always, mate.
Thanks, Gareth. Thank you.
There's Heath Pope. You can watch us and you can see what Popey looks like if you stream live and watch us on the SEN app, our YouTube channel or our Facebook page. Now, Nick Ashman will join me next with his best in Sydney, but I've got our top 5 racing moments this season, or our favourite racing moments anyway. You can join in the fun here, 0499 736 736. So we might run through them with Nick Ashman next.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up with Gareth Hall, 18 minutes past 9. Great to have your company. We've missed him. TheBeatenFavourite.com's Nick Ashman joins us. Hello, Nicholas.
Morning, G. How are you?
Good, thank you, mate. Yeah, I've missed my hamburger with the lot with no egg. Good to see you back.
Plenty of protein in our burger. Don't worry about that. It's back next week, actually. So we're still on holidays this week, but we'll be back producing all the goods next week, mate. But
I saw you on the racing.com yesterday. The Foxcatcher team are back on TV, which is good to see.
Mate, we've gone from YouTube back onto racing.com. Yeah. So, mate, it's a good result. So we do a preview and review show on Thursday and Monday nights, and very proud of that, mate. We've worked hard to get that show off the ground and to get it to where it is. Julesie's obviously, it's been his baby for a long time, and he came and grabbed me at the end of last year when I finished up with Sportsbet and, jumped on board, and it's been a really good ride and it's a really good show. So, mate, very, very, very proud of that one.
Just be careful if he ever turns up in his McLaren racing gear. Be aware. But apart from that, he's sensational. All right, man.
I'm always on edge with Julesy. You never quite know what you're going to get, which I think is what makes him him. But he's a good man. He's a very good judge.
Yes.
He's a good bloke. I've had a lot of time with him over the last few years.
Now, I've got a couple of questions for you. Have you got any winners for us in Sydney tomorrow? Because then I'm going to play. We're going to have a look at our favourite racing moments, and I'll see if we're on the same page or not.
Well, speaking of moments, race 4, number 6, Glorious Moments.
Oh,
tomorrow.
yes.
Jim and Greg Lee don't get too many real top horses. They sort of tend to bat around more so in the provincials. They're good horsemen, though. And this horse, I don't remember the last time they've had a 2-year-old run, but this horse back in 2024 ran in a Pago Stakes, which is one of the lead-ups to a Golden Slipper. And he was ordered to trial after it. He was beaten 30 lengths. Something was horribly wrong. He didn't race for more than a year. They removed his 2 best mates. He returned as a gelding a bit over a month ago at Canterbury. Mate, he ran good time there, and he was winning running away from him. Don't get me wrong, he was third defence, had a nice cheap run in transit, but he didn't just put him away, he was racing away from him. I think he might be a pretty handy horse. We'll find out tomorrow, but he's my best for Randwick there tomorrow. And I've also had something on Miracle Spin in the last race, but it looks like a few other people have as well. He's been 13 into 750.
Yep, beautiful. I don't mind punting. He's short, but I reckon he can get the job done tomorrow, punting again, straight to the front.
Bjorn, hasn't he? He had a good season. Bjorn. We're talking about moments and we're talking about good performances. He's, I had a conversation with him when he first came over to Australia, and he said, what's your tip for Australian racing? I said, I'll just put him on speed and get him fit. And, mate, that bloke has gone from being a trainer that had to take his stock out to Orange and Bathurst to sort of get the wins on the board to now really being the number 2 behind Chris Waller in Sydney.
Yeah. Well, he's 50 behind Chris Waller, but he's got horses now coming to him from Godolphin, and he's got a great association with Derby, and he's been able to be versatile in a way, which he sort of has to in his business, but he's getting better younger horses coming through the system. When he gets a good horse, he's managing it perfectly like he did with Overpass, and then he's getting the opportunities like with the tried horses, he's making the most of them. Robusto's a perfect example there. And now he's getting horses like Pericles, which would be fascinating to see what job he can do with that former Godolphin horse. So, he's been one of the stories. There's no doubt about that, Bjorn Baker. Just a couple of questions coming through. Cash is at promising galloper for Michael Hickmott. It won't be going around at Morphettville tomorrow. It's too wet for Cash, my mail is. So don't be backing Cash in race 4. But wait for him for another day. Now, our favourite racing moments of the season. And I'll put mine in order a little bit. Now, you might disagree. There's a couple of honourable mentions that I put out. You didn't put them on the rundown, did you, Louis? Oh, you did? I'll go down. There we go. Here we go. My Ultra Banana. Sorry, I apologise, Louis. You're doing a wonderful job. The kid from Geelong. J-Mac, honourable mention for 11 wins during the Flemington Carnival. Now, he probably didn't live up to my expectations of 12. If he got 12, he probably would have got in. but it's definitely an honourable mention, beating his own record. Tommy Kitten All-Star Mile was one of the great victories, Tommy Kitten, because he really announced himself from being a bridesmaid to taking out one of the bigger races on the Aussie calendar. Overpass's third straight Winterbottom. I think that definitely was the story. Mr. Brightside's champion mile because of his resilience, and he deserved a big race. And Rochelle Milnes, she's about to join us a little later on, but she might be the first apprentice in 30 years to take out a premiership in Adelaide, a jockey's premiership, a Metro premiership, and of course she won the Adelaide Cup. But my top 5 racing moments in a way now. I'm going to go.
Hard to disagree with you.
Yeah, so you're happy with those at the moment?
Well, I'm happy with those. I'll tell you what, I've got J-Mac in my top 5.
Oh, have you?
But not for what you've got him in there for. I've got it for an international talking point. I thought that his ride on Romantic Warrior over in Dubai, which copped a lot of flack, I think it also, like, you've sometimes got to look a bit abroad Australian racing, and that really got the world talking about him as well. I mean, obviously he's done good things in England and Hong Kong and all over the place, but that ride, you know, if he, I don't know I can't remember what the
Saudi Cup. It was a Saudi Cup. You're talking about the ride there on Romantic Warrior, and he hit the front, and then the Forever Young, the superstar Japanese horse, kicked back and beat him on the wire in the world's richest race.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Look, a lot of people say he went for Romantic Warrior too soon, and whatever else. But the thing is, it just goes to show that it's a game of inches.
Correct.
If he wins that race, and he was only beaten a few inches or something, it wasn't much. If he wins that race, people talk about what a good daring ride it was to serve it up to the Japanese horse from that far out. But he didn't get the job done, and just the fact that he came back from that, and then, as you say, absolutely tore him apart for the rest of the season. So I've sort of got that in my top 5. I think then still sort of half on J-Mac, but without doubt, it's an easy one. The best performance of the season was Via Sistina in the Cox Plate. Anyone who follows ratings just knows that. She was just, what she did that day was just absolutely electric. Yes. And the theatre leading up to the Cox Plate as well, Gareth.
I think I think that adds a lot to it. Not just the record-breaking performance by a few lengths to win that day at Moonee Valley, but I was there that Tuesday morning. It was one of those remarkable, not just in racing, an event that I've covered, but a sporting event that I've covered because, like as you well know, Nick, like when I worked at Channel 9 and like racing takes centre stage during that week, especially Cox Plate week because the footy season finished. And when Via Sistina, trained by one of the world's best trainers, ridden by the world's best jockey, dumps J-Mac down the straight in her final strong gallop in front of everybody at Breakfast with the Stars, live on racing.com, and does 3 laps uncontrollable around Moonee Valley. We think that she won't be going around. And then the drama that unfolded after that, it was something that, from a sporting point of view, it was theatre at its best in a way.
Correct. And it's like, you know, when J-Mac got beaten in Dubai, sometimes it's not about winning and losing.
No.
It's about the drama and the stories, and that's what we need in racing. So she didn't just blitz the clock and blitz her rivals by 8 lengths or whatever the official margin was. It was what happened in the 5 days leading up to it that just sort of made that performance on its own island, in my opinion. And then I guess the People's Award for 2024-25 has to be Knight's Choice in the Melbourne Cup. We spoke about this before I went on holidays, but an Australian-bred horse, you know, from a bit of a battling background up in Queensland, hadn't won for a while, ridden by Robbie Dolan, who's a bit of a household name, you know, for most people. A lot of Australian houses out there, or sort of non-racing people, once-a-year punters, would know Robbie Dolan more than James McDonald, oddly enough, because of his feet behind the microphone. So I think for Knight's Choice to get up, again, it did something good for racing. The Via Sistina story, great for racing. J-Mac getting beaten, the talk about it, that's still good for racing, not quite at the same level. Knight's Choice, Robbie Dolan, and even the story about the pay and everything like that, that's just a proper racing story, that one. And it goes into the top 5 without a doubt. And then the other 2 I've got in there, Steve, obviously the Rosehill Sale, I think from a controversy point of view, you know, we see probably the best administrator we've ever had in racing and possibly in sport in Peter Volandis. A few people are having a crack at him, and, you know, everyone's wanted to have a crack at him. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people have tried to have a crack at him over the years, often behind closed doors. This time we actually saw it out in the public, mainly spearheaded by Mark Latham. It doesn't matter what team you're in. I don't think that was good for racing.
No.
I think it was bad for racing.
Mark Latham's had a couple of interesting weeks. We won't go into detail there, but
so it's but again, it's part of the theatre.
Yeah,
and I
it
remember
is.
talking to Robbie Waterhouse once at a race course. I can't remember where we were. It might have been Warwick Farm on a Wednesday. And he said, sometimes it doesn't matter if it's a good story or a bad story. You just need stories, and you need that little bit of something there to keep the industry going. You don't want it too sanitised. So I tend to agree with him. And the other one I'm going to mention, and this is probably won't appear on anyone's top five, and I can understand why, but I just want to give a rap to Queensland Racing as well.
Okay.
Because they took the innovative move a couple of seasons ago now to incorporate a lot of 800-metre races into their calendar. And doing some work for a lot of trainers and stuff like that out there, we breed sprinters. And there's a lot of horses out there that don't actually get 1,000 metres, Gareth. They really struggle to get 1,000 metres. They just don't even have the stamina to see out that trip. And that 800 metres, a lot of them are getting shifted up to Queensland, to Tony Gollan, or even to Matty Dunn just south of the border there. And they go to those places and they can run in those 800-metre races at Ipswich in the midweeks or wherever it might be. And I think it just provides a little bit of an extra life, or a longer lifespan for horses that otherwise probably would have had to been retired. And I think that's a good move in the right direction. I hope at some point some of the other jurisdictions do the same thing and also stretch out and have a few more staying races for horses that are too slow to run over 2,400 and whatnot.
Well said. We'll just wait on the line. I've got to go through my top five. I wonder if you agree with them or not. Straight after the news, it's 9:30.
By Signet, making SEN News headlines. Victoria's Juries Commissioner is looking into a major oversight revealed during the Erin Patterson murder trial. A global outage of satellite service Starlink is affecting over 200,000 Australians, cut off from the internet and communication services. Security in the Indo-Pacific on the agenda during talks between Australian and British foreign and defence ministers today. And the world of professional wrestling mourning the loss of one of its most iconic figures. Hulk Hogan has passed away aged 71 after a suspected heart attack. Up next, sen.com.au sport. Hawthorn's top four hopes remain alive after a 24-point win over Carlton at the MCG. Jack Gunston booting 3 goals. WA cyclist Ben O'Connor has taken out stage 18 of the Tour de France, the second stage victory of his career. And Alex de Minaur will take on American Brandon Nakashima in the quarterfinals of the Washington Open after winning his round of 16 match this morning.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up. Gareth Hall, Nick Ashman with you. You're watching us live or streaming live these days on the SEN app, our YouTube channel and Facebook page. You can join our conversation anytime you want. 0499 736 736. Keep your $100 staking plans coming through as well. I love your top five, something a little bit different there from the season that's just been or is about to win. I reckon Entino Doomben Cup, because it was that race that every state outside of Sydney and Melbourne, they need a dead set superstar, I reckon, to get some people to the races and people talking about racing in that particular state. I think Antino, well, he's one of the favourites for the Cox Plate. And with Pride of Jenny turning up there at Doomben that day, it added a lot of theatre to that race. And she didn't turn up at her best that day, but Antino was devastating for Tony Golan. And I was there that day. I thought it was terrific for Queensland racing. I love Joker's Gren's victory in the Quokka. Now, no one gave him a hope after he was defeated at his previous start leading into the Quokka. He drew an outside gate. He had to take on Overpars, who was the king of WA racing, Headwall, that ran some nice races at weight for age level at our best weight for age sprinting races like the TJ Smith. But he came from the clouds. And Bernie Miller only trains a small team. It was a homebred, Patrick Carberry in the saddle. I reckon that was a great day for Australian racing, especially Perth racing as well, for Joker's Grin to do that, Nicholas. So, yeah, one of my favourite stories.
I had him pegged as a 1,000-metre horse, Joker's Grin, I'll be honest. So for him to come out and do that was awesome. And just to add to your Antino, I think you're 100% right. You've just touched on something there, that it's really important for states outside of New South Wales and Victoria to get these top-line horses.
Yeah.
I do feel like in the last decade or two, it's dwindled down a bit. It's become a little more centralised to the two states, the two main states. So I think horses like Antino, maybe Joker's Grin if he goes right on with it, I think it's really important for those other states to have top-line horses that can compete against the best from Sydney and Melbourne. Yeah,
totally agree. V Sistina, because of what you just mentioned, it was not just her Cox Plate victory, but it was the theatre and the build-up heading into the Cox Plate. I remember I was talking to Yulong and they say it was unlikely that she would start, and then as the morning went on, Chris Wallace says, no, we'll give her every possible chance. It was just unbelievable stuff. I loved it. So, and then she did what she did off a hot tempo, and it was a truly run Cox Plate that day when they went lickety-split. Like, there were some terrible rides in that Cox Plate, but it set up for a hot speed, and Via Sistina, away she went. Knight's Choice, because of what you just said, the story behind Knight's Choice winning a Melbourne Cup, and there's that talk about paying back to last and how there's a lot of slow horses and you don't want these 100-to-1 horses going around in a Melbourne Cup. Well, Knight's Choice just proved that if you're in it, you can win it, basically.
We've had 200-to-1 winners in 10 years with Prince of Penzance as well. So, it's fast becoming a race where I would argue that the Melbourne Cup is the best race for roughies out of all the Group 1s on the calendar.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that if you don't have these type of horses like Knight's Choice in, it doesn't produce the fairy tale Melbourne Cup stories that the race deserves. And it's the race that can produce these type of stories. And we've mentioned this a few times. Those Knight's Choice stories are more important than any other story in racing, especially for our great race, the Melbourne Cup.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
also on the Melbourne Cup, I'd love to see, we're digressing here, but I'd love to see the VRC. I really think it's great that they've created those two qualifiers at other tracks other than Flemington.
Yes.
Which they announced, I think, only a couple of weeks ago. I'd love to see a Queensland qualifying race, a Perth qualifying race, an SA qualifying. And so each state, you have a qualifying race in each state of Australia. Mm-hmm. It's the race that stops the nation. They've lost their way a little bit in recent times, but they look like they're getting that race back on track, and I think that was testament last year. Just love to see a qualifying race in multiple states so that, the Queenslanders can turn up on the first Tuesday of November with their Antino or whoever it might be representing them in a Melbourne Cup.
Even that race, Sir Delius wins. So, there's a few options in Queensland that could do that. And Sir Delius just trialled okay today at Warwick Farm. So I agree with you there. And for me, and this, I could be a little bit biased here for my number one moment of the year, but Harry Coffey is a boy from where I grew up. Well, he's a Mallee boy. And his story is inspiring, cystic fibrosis. And I've interviewed him on several occasions. And when I was at RSN, I did a one-on-one interview with him, and he was talking through the challenges that he went through to get where he got to, and just to persuade his parents, especially his mum and his doctor, to allow him to ride, and his ambition and resilience and his determination to be able to become a jockey, and then for him to continue to grow And when he's in his early 30s, he's now a father. He wasn't meant to be riding at this age. And then to do what he did in that Caulfield Cup, and he outrode some world-class riders on that day at Caulfield. It was a peach. So I love Harry, and that was the moment that it was a great, inspiring life story in a way for Harry Coffey. And he would have inspired not just racing people, but people outside the racing bubble because of what he did there that day at Caulfield to take out the cup.
Yeah, it's a good any of those types of stories. Like we've got a family member. I won't go into it, but with a pretty bad illness, and I can tell you that whenever she sort of sees these types of stories, it's certainly inspiring for her. And it doesn't matter who or what they're doing. It's just to be able to come back from something that should be, really grounding you to get back up and to beat the world or to beat the country, if you like. It was very, very good. So I agree with you. I think Harry, like even aside from that, Gareth, he's riding really well. His stats this season are the best they've ever been. So he's still on an upward spiral, to use a racing term. Yeah,
and he's got this new medication that's changed his life as well. So, no, good on Harry. And I forgot in my honourable mentions, I know this is outside of Australia, but Rachel King's performance to be the first female rider to win a Group 1 in Japan has to go down as one of our great stories as well, even though she's from the UK. We claim her as an Aussie now, but Japan's such a vibrant racing jurisdiction. Many say the best in the world, and she did that. That's that legacy will live on forever. Damien Lane's performances in Japan as well, and I reckon he had one hell of a year. D Lane as well. He had a season to remember. So there's plenty of highlights, as there always is, mate. And it's a lot of fun. Hey, Nick, you're a superstar. Miles is in the hot seat for the next couple of weeks, so he'll love having you on. But I'm looking forward to the spring, mate. I've got to talk to your management. I've got a couple of new ideas as well.
Well, mate, fire them away. Can I just say, and I don't want to blow smoke up the blurter for you, go and have a good holiday. Yes. You deserve it, mate. The work you've done on SEN is second to none, and I can't commend you enough, mate. I know you're a mate, but you've done a fantastic job getting this program right out there, and you've earned the respect of a lot of people in the industry for the way you've played your hand.
Oh, you're too nice, mate. That's why I love the hamburger with the lots, without egg.
It's back, mate.
Is it back next week?
Hey?
Is it back next week?
It's back next week. Yeah, we'll be online. Yeah. You can't sign up today. We've blocked all the stubs because I'm not doing any work. I'm having a bit of time off.
As you should. Thanks for that, mate. Go Manly.
See you, lads. Yeah, see you, mate.
There's Nick Ashman there. Hey, we'll take a break. Robbie Clifton. I reckon I know who Robbie is. Belmont Race 1, number 1, King of Light. Into Caulfield Race 5, number 4, Electric Tommy. Into Race 8, number 7, The Black Cloud. Into Race 8, number 1, Simply Thinking. I love how you're thinking, Rob. And hopefully you're a better judge than your son. But hopefully you get the $100 staking plan tomorrow. Or next week anyway. Put a Don Bradman on that for you, Robbie. Hey, we'll take a break. We'll come back with plenty more next.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
This is Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. We're streaming live every day here on the SEN app, our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. He had a week off. I don't know where he's been, but we bloody missed him. You can check out racingqueensland.com.au for where Queensland is racing today. And where the bloody hell's Chris Nelson been? Hello, Chriso.
Good morning, Gareth. I can tell you where I've been. I went down to the Gold Coast to play in a 3-day golf tournament, and
Yes.
I should have stayed working. That's about as well as I played. That's all I want to say is I may as well have worked. But I'm back now, and back trying to find some winners for tomorrow at Doomben.
Hey, there's only one between Lang and Jones now.
Yeah, there was a bit of news yesterday. There was a horse won a race by the name of Dillian back in April, and it's since been disqualified due to a high reading of cobalt. Now, the horse that ran second was Galifianakis, ridden by Emily Lang, so she gets the win now. So she's only one behind Ange Jones, and they've got tomorrow's meeting, and they've got next Wednesday's meeting. She's got 8 rides. Sorry, she got 8 rides tomorrow, Emily, and Ange has got 9.
There you go. Who would you be backing right now, Chriso?
I like an underdog. I'll go with Emily.
Yeah, I will be on Emily. We'll try and cheer home Emily as well. She was on our show the other day. She was lovely.
She is.
And good luck to Ange as well.
Yeah, good luck to both girls. But you have had Emily on our show a couple of times recently also. And I've been an Emily fan for about 4 years when she first started riding. So I'll be very happy to see either girl win. But, probably a little bit more Emily.
What about the conflict of interest in that battle for the premiership, all right? So they've got the same manager, Mitch Spears, who's a good man. I met him the other I've known him for a little while, and he does a great job. They've got the same master in Tony Gollan.
I know.
So imagine those phone calls and saying, well, why has Emily got better rides than me? We're both going for the same premiership. Like, boss, do you love me more than her? Well, it would be fascinating to – and this is where I reckon you could interview Mitch or have a camera on Mitch and Tony Gollan going through the opportunities and how it's all working. That'd be great theatre, I reckon.
I reckon Mitch is someone you want to get on the show and have a chat to shortly because...
We might actually. He's mad. He's bloody mad, Mitch. I don't know how he does it.
He's very good. Now, Tony's the man that's got to make the big decisions because, he's the one at the end of the day, I suppose, that makes the final decision. But lucky he's a no-nonsense guy because it wouldn't be easy.
No. So who are you backing tomorrow?
Well, I don't know what to tell you about tomorrow other than we are going to get some rain. They're saying one outlet will tell you it's going to come in the afternoon and evening, and I just read somewhere it's going to be after 10 a.m. and we could get 20 to 40 mil. So we'll give you some tips for tomorrow and just wait and see what happens in the morning. I'll update you on the odds couple, but we will go with these. Race 5, number 16, Gospel Girl, who was good first up at the Sunny Coast. She handles the ground, or any type of ground. She's very consistent and she draws a good gate, so she'll get a good run for Ange Jones. Now this is my roughie of the day. Race 7, number 6, Don't Stop. I reckon this horse is way overs.
Okay.
Now his form doesn't read all that well on paper. 7, 7, 9, 4, 9 and 4. But that fourth was a flashing fourth in the eyeliner behind Orton, and that has been a really strong form race. We saw Forbidden Kiss come out of that. We saw Shah of Goma come out of that. And his was one of the better runs in the race. He's been freshened up. He'll handle any type of going. He gets the claim for Rob Thorburn. I think he'll run really well. He's not a $20 plus chance. Race 8, number 1, Metal Art wins on a soft track. If it gets too heavy, I don't want anything to do with him, but as long as it stays soft, yes. And in the last race, 9, number 2, Savour the Dream, who you saw down in Melbourne.
Yes.
I think it was the Australian Guineas. Didn't fire that day, but had a wide run. Then went to Rose Hill for the Rose Hill Guineas. That was too strong. Back here, well suited first up, and the Brisbane form is very strong from this horse. So race 9, number 2, Savour the Dream rounds out the tips.
So Friday, our theme of the day with our listeners, and those text messages are flowing through. Paul will be here all day trying to monitor those and make sure he follows them over the weekend. But $100, if I gave you $100, mate, what would you do with it at Doomben tomorrow?
tough at this stage with not knowing what the weather will do. But I would definitely have $25 each way on race 7, number 6, Don't Stop at the odds.
Yes.
And I'll also have $50 the win, race 9, number 2, Savour the Dream.
Beautiful. You had the week off the punter's mate as well, didn't you? They tell me the King Callow has replaced you.
Has he really? I wondered who Sammy would get as his guest.
Yes.
He didn't just get him as a guest, he got him as a co-host. Well, that's it for me. The punter's mate's all done for me now.
No. Well, they might not be on air if it was live. If it's live. I know it wasn't live. It's on tonight, isn't it? So who knows what they'll say. But two great characters.
5 p.m. tonight. Now, if that's been edited, the show will probably end up running for actually 20 minutes. That's it.
Good on you, Chris. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Gareth. Have a good day.
Andrew O'Toole will join us next to preview the third Saturday, of course, of the famous Darwin Carnival, with the highlight there being the metric mile.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. It's quickly approaching 10 o'clock. NT Thoroughbred Racing, the best show on sand in the top end this Saturday. Feature racing once again as the carnival rolls on. The feature race is the Metric Mile, which is race number 7 on the program. But the tips from Andrew O'Toole. He likes race 2, number 3, Hello World. Race 3, number 1, Wild Bow. And race 6, number 2, Pink Panther. So race 2, number 3, race 3, number 1, and race 6, number 2. We can get Pete Anthony on now. We've got a couple of minutes. We can cake him over the news. You can tune in to Racing WA TV on 7+, your ultimate destination for everything racing in the West. Good program back at Belmont tomorrow. Can't wait for that. Should be a lot of fun. And William Pike, I mentioned this yesterday, he's riding 7 of the 8 favourites with Bet365. And in the last race, he rides the second favourite. So how many winners will William Pike get tomorrow at Belmont? I think Pete's ready to go now. G'day, Pete.
Yeah, g'day, Gareth.
How many winners for Pikey?
Don't know, to be honest. Can't actually remember which horses he's on, but look, he's riding in good form.
Yes.
I actually haven't found any of his rides, so just quickly searching through my suggested bets.
Well, you always take him on, don't you? Most of the time.
Typically, I think he's just on a few that are a little bit short in the market. All the market's found them already. A little bit of an unknown with the track. It was a heavy 8 yesterday. Still waiting to see if those drying conditions, the wind around yesterday has brought that up to a 7, and hopefully we're on to a 6 by Saturday. So fingers crossed that's the track for the day.
I've got 30 seconds. You'll win King of Light, so that'll win. That's 1.
No.
King of Light won't win.
Oh, I'm not saying it won't win. It's just I'm not taking $1.50 about a 2-year-old that will settle last.
I'm talking winners. Well, it won like a good horse there the other day. Supernatural.
Yeah, too short for me taking it on.
Yorga Pride. Too short, probably.
Yeah, too short.
All right, then. Hey, we'll take the break. We'll play this game and take the news. We'll play this game straight after this. Stop booing Pikey, Pete.
Powered by Signet. Good morning, I'm Nath Gardner with SEN News. A major oversight has emerged in the Erin Patterson murder trial, prompting an investigation. Concerns have been raised after it was revealed jurors were housed in the same hotel as journalists, prosecutors and detectives. The judge was reportedly unaware for nearly 6 days, sparking questions about the integrity of the deliberation process. More than 1,400 people with a disability across South Australia are set to be impacted as support group Bedford prepares to enter voluntary administration. The not-for-profit group has been operating in South Australia for more than 80 years, with Sunday the deadline to find a solution to their financial issues. Hulk Hogan, the global wrestling icon, has died aged 71. It's believed a cardiac arrest claimed the WWF legend. Local Florida police officer Nate Burnside earlier confirming his death.
It was discovered at that time Terry Bollea, also known as Hulk Hogan, was experiencing a serious medical-related issue. Personnel provided medical treatment at that time and transported Mr. Bollea to Morton Plant Hospital, where he died at 11:17 a.m.
In the 80s, Hogan put wrestling in the spotlight with his trademark bandana and handlebar mustache. Bendigo Bank is moving to shut down its agency model, leaving many towns in South Australia and Western Australia without banking services. And if you're currently listening while wearing your PJs, don't bother changing. Today is National Pajama Day. Up next, SEN Sport. Nate Caddy, Todd Goldstein and Saad El Hali return for the Bombers match against the Doggies tonight, while Oscar Baker and Jed Buslinger replace Liam Jones and Sam Davidson for the Dogs in Ruckman Tim English's 150th game. And the next T20 in the 5-game series between the West Indies and Australia is on tomorrow morning. Australia leads 2-0.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up. So I put it out on social media yesterday, how many winners for Pikey. I reckon the majority said he should get at least 4 or 5. I fell into Pikey trap yesterday at Northern. Looked like he could ride 4 or 6 of the 9 races on paper. He didn't have a single winner. That means he'll be awfully dangerous come tomorrow. So, Pete, let's play a game quickly. I reckon he wins the first. That's one King of Light. You don't think he does. Is that right? Regardless of the price, if they're betting propositions.
I don't think that field's much good. So, yeah, we'll put him down for 1 there.
Beautiful. Yeah. Supernatural?
Taking him on.
All right, then. Adam Durant said Supernatural will be awfully hard to beat. I might go with Durant and Pike. So I've got him for 2. Yorga Pride, too short first up.
Absolutely too short in that field.
Yeah, so that's 2. Fancy Red, $1.95. Does she beat Acadia Park?
Well, I think Arcadia Park's probably got more upside, to be fair. We galloped on during the Aquineata, and look, I don't know how good any of these are, but I think he's the one that's probably got a little bit more upside just based on what they did last start.
I agree there. So that's 2 still, and you've got him for 1. Famous Dane?
Way too short, and I'll be taking on. Big question mark on the track, though. If the track's wetter, that horse comes right back into things, I think.
Can Eccentric Nature win first up on a heavy track or a slow track?
Yes, and borderline bet at the price. I'll be waiting to see what that horse is tomorrow morning.
So that's 3. Solder now for Stefan Valhalla.
Look, I can understand why some people like this horse, but too short for me. We'll be taking her on to some degree, but she will obviously be in the short quaddie as well.
And Simply Thinking's got too much weight, I reckon.
Yeah, and I haven't got price close to the $5 or so. I've got a bit longer than that. So that's a tough race to finish the card.
Yeah, beautiful.
What does that leave us? About 3?
Yep, 3, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably about right on balance.
Yeah. All right, then what about your best bets there?
2 with Darren McQuarrie. Apologies to DMAC if he's listening, just to put the moz on him. But look, I thought in race 2, the price of 3, Cool Memory was a great price. That horse will be on speed, seems to have come back right and towards that horse's best form. And I did note DMAC almost throughout could be a sneaky railway stakes contender later this year. Just looks a really good speed map for that horse. Whereas a horse like Supernatural, yes, obviously going to have admirers, but we'll get back in that field. I think their ratings are very similar. And on the drying surface there at Belmont, first time back, I'm more than happy to go with horses in the first 4 and run. Cool Memory should be leading, so that's an automatic bet for me in race 2, number 3. And then the other DMAC horse on the card in race 7, it is number 1, Masamune. Look, Masamune has either been not suited this preparation, or when he's been suited, it's been over the 1,000 behind horses like Desert Whisper and My Hidden Universe. This looks a really nice race for him to just sit midfield. It will either be him or Soldanel in that spot, just stalking the speed, which doesn't look to be particularly strong late. But at the price, I thought Masamune, I've got him marked clear favourite, so $4 plus looks a good bet. So race 7, number 1, Masamune.
Beautiful, Pete. You keep on dominating. We'll catch up with you next week, mate.
Cheers, Gareth.
And Michael Granthon's on fire. He joins us now because he'll be taking on this odds-on favourite, the filly that's been going great guns in Fancy Red with his impressive last start winner in Acadia Park, who was too strong in the Aquineata there at Bunbury. Hello to you, Mickey G.
Good morning, Gareth. How are you?
Good, thank you, mate. Can your Son of Ocean Park beat this boom filly tomorrow?
Oh, it's hard to come up against Adam's horses on a daily basis, let alone in a listed race. So, the way his filly won the Oats, and there's obviously a lot more speed up front, and Pikey was able to do what he does. He snipers the field, and Adam had that horse spot on for that race, and we might be a sitting duck out in front for a long time. So I'm just hoping we might be able to hold on.
Yeah, and how's he trained on since? I thought he looked like he just got a little bit lost when he hit the front so early the other day.
Yeah, I think Gareth, he's a bit of a Dumbo himself. Yeah. So I think they obviously, you've watched him, so did everyone else. They all fanned to the outside of the track that day, and I think he was just looking for the rail. I think Clint was up him, and he was going left, he was going right. So I think he was just a little bit lost in green out in front. So Drawing Barry one's obviously not ideal, but I think it would be a good starting position, obviously. But he gets to follow the rail wherever he is and shouldn't be too far off it if he has to pull out either. So just hopefully he goes in a straight line and we won't have to run 2,600 instead of 22.
What do you make of Lillian in the same race at Belmont Classic? She's got to take on Acadia Park and the boys.
Yeah, obviously she, Clint was going to get caught wide, made a decision on a heavy track just to go forward and get out of the rut. And, she sustained a good run from the 1,000 when the speed went on and only got beaten 3 lengths, say, from Fancy Red. So, if anything, going forward, she's done well and she's going to tighten from that run. And I think she's like a down-and-out stayer sort of a horse. So, if anything, if she could be the grinding one, well, that could be the one.
Katie Knight looks tough to beat, I reckon, in race 5.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a forever boy act last time. I think Pat rode him a 12 out of 10, got the money, and I backed him up 2 weeks later. And, he's probably a little bit off. Maybe, obviously, it went a month, but from the trial to the race, so he was pretty fresh that day. And I think I might have just overdone him in that 2 weeks leading to the next run. It was pretty disappointing, really. So I haven't backed off him, but the wide barrier is not going to worry him because he does get back in the run anyway. So just hopefully by that time we sort of get a guide on the track to see if we're coming from behind.
Yeah. You've got chances throughout that program, Celebrity Prince, Regal Statue, Antique Queen, and a couple in the 8th race that both have got each way chances in Antique Star and also Spectacular Park. If I gave you $100, Mickey G, what would you do with it, with those horses? Well, your runners there tomorrow, because you're on. We owe you a couple of beers because you were great to us, Acadia Park at $5 last time.
So are we just doing those last ones, the graduations?
No, everyone, the whole team, mate.
Well, no, I reckon if we went Arcadia Park into Arcadia Night,
yes,
the wins. We'll just see how we end up.
Beautiful. Any of those horses we didn't touch on that you think could win?
I think I think the inside barrier for Celebrity Prince, taking the blinkers off and the tongue tie, just due to sort of working with people that work for me for Hannah and at the farm. I think we sort of come to the decision that taking the blinkers off, and he works so much better without him and without a tongue tie.
Yeah.
I think the inside barrier, and Amy claims off him down to 55, so he could be probably one to watch, especially dropping back from the 14 to the 12th.
All right. Hey, love your work, mate. You're going great guns. We appreciate you as always, Mickey G, and good luck on Saturday.
You know that anytime.
He's a good man, Mickey Grantham. Now, I apologise, Henry. He does have runners at Geelong and runners in Adelaide, and Salsa Fella's a great chance there at Caulfield. But he did tell me his best for the weekend is the Autumn Bell each way, race 7, number 4. And he gives good chances to Salsa Fellow and the likes at Caulfield. But if you're having a bet from Henry's team, the Autumn Bell, race 7, number 4 in Adelaide. Let's take a break. We'll come back with plenty more straight after this.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. It's 17 minutes past 10. It's time now for Bag of Tips.
The Giddy Up Bag of Tips for Oz Equipment Rentals. Supplying equipment to the construction, mining and roadworks industries. OzEquipment.com.
Let's run through Bag of Tips. We've got some good meetings around the country in the three codes today, all thanks to the Ultima Hotel in the heart of the Mallee. Just down the road from Swan Hill, swing by for a cold beer. Oz Equipment Rentals, supplying equipment to the construction, mining and roadworks industry, OzEquipment.com. And with Bet365 Top Tote Plus, you'll get the best payout across all three national totes. What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Race 9, number 8 for Mitchie Lewis at Geelong for Brees is his best bet. And Montgomery Bay, race 8, number 8 at Echuca. Luke Ovanessian likes race 3, number 1, Thunder Pace, and race 5, number 4, So Crazy at Canberra. Darren Carroll likes race 3, number 5, My Ultimate Jimmy, and race 5, number 9, Spring Delight. And at Melton, race 4, number 9, Camnat. So race 3, number 5, race 5, number 9. And at Melton tonight, race 4, number 9. And Harness Racing New South Wales, the home of the Carnival of Cups, where Australian music royalty meets quality harness racing action. At Wagga, race 2, number 7, Bet All Jacks. Race 3, number 2, He's a Terror. This is for Amanda. And race 1, number 6, Techie Creed at Newcastle. And race 4, number 9, Rock Fisherman. That's the tips there from Amanda. So that is Bag of Tips, all thanks to Oz Equipment Rentals, the Ultima Hotel, and Bet365. And don't forget, with Bet365, we have our multi. They've got their bet boost coming up after 10 o'clock tomorrow, so keep an eye on the app there to see who they're boosting. And the 6-horse challenge is a great way to play on a Saturday. It doesn't cost you anything. It's the last 3 races there at Caulfield and Randwick. So you just got to pick. If you get 6, there's a chance you can win $50,000 like one lucky Bet365 customer did there yesterday. And our boost, just having a look at it now, so the top 4 finishes. So I only got 386 people. This is a great value, $6.36. Mayweather in race 1 at Caulfield. Legani race 2 at Morphettville. They've got to finish in the top 4. She's Unusual at Randwick race 6. And Punton race 10 at Randwick. So that bet boost with Bet365 top 4 multi is $6.36. 20 minutes past 10. This is a great story unfolding, I reckon, in South Australia. She's one of the young guns, not only of South Australian racing, but of Australian racing. I speak of Rochelle Milnes because Rochelle is 4 in front at the moment in the South Australian Jockeys Metro Premiership. Lockie Neindorf is behind her, and she's got a great book of rides there tomorrow, and she joins us now. Hello to you, Rochelle. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me on.
Jeez, it's been some season.
Yeah, it has been. I definitely can't complain, and no matter how many times I say it, like win, lose, or draw the premiership, I can't take away from the season I've had.
Yeah, and you won an Adelaide Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a highlight. I'd say highlight of my career by far. As for what it did for my career, but including another Port Lincoln Cup, and that was a big deal for me.
Yeah, I think it's been 30 years since an apprentice has won a Metro Jockeys Premiership. It's truly an amazing feat. When did you realise that you thought, well, I'm a big chance to do this season?
It probably started a few weeks ago when obviously the talk of the premiership comes up, and if I'm actually honest, I didn't ever really check the premiership up. I didn't even really know how to find where to check it up, so I wasn't in mind. It definitely wasn't a goal, and it wasn't until everyone else started making a fuss that I even kind of clued on. Yeah, so
obviously you've been thinking about it now, but what would it mean to you to win a premiership if you can hold on?
It would be a great, achievement to have on the CV, I guess. But, really lucky. I suppose that's everything, you'd imagine it to be. But I'm just really enjoying the ride. It wasn't a goal, so just a bit of extra credit, really.
Yeah, and there's 3 meetings left. So you've got a great book there tomorrow, Wednesday, and the next Saturday. So it's not too long to hang on to that four victory lead at the moment.
Yeah, it was nice going in, with a bit of a buffer from last week. Getting a winner up definitely helped keep Lockie at bay as he's making a really good comeback. And, he's definitely someone who's got the potential to ride a few each Saturday meeting we have.
Yeah. Hey, Carla goes around the Lightning Stakes. This horse is a little untapped for Will Clarkin and Nikki O'Shea. She showed a lot in the early part of her career. Now, she's got to step up again come tomorrow, but are you confident that she won't be far away in the Lightning Stakes?
Yeah, look, she's come out and improved every time she's run, and obviously had a little bit of a freshen up, and I did a gallop on Tuesday, and look, she's not a very big horse. She's quite unassuming, but she gives you a lot, and she's quite a little racehorse. So obviously quite excited to see her, and she's never really let us down so far. And I'd love to go out there and give it a good crack.
Do you reckon she'll handle a heavy track?
Yeah, that's never seemed to stop her so far. She got through it really well. It was quite a wet morning at track work when we did gallop her, and she's just a tough little horse, and I can see her handling it just fine.
Outside of that race with Sakala there in the Lightning Stakes, what other ride are you looking forward to most there?
Obviously, getting a ride for Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. I think I've been away in Darwin, so I'm just kind of going through them all now as I'll be heading home. But obviously, it's always nice to get a ride for a stable of that quality. And then Anthony and Sam Friedman in the last, I think that's also a really good opportunity to be given, especially as an apprentice. But, look, and my constant support of Will Clarkin and Nikki O'Shea, I think 16 Reasons is going really well. So, just overall, actually, the day looks quite bright.
Yep, so 16 Reasons looks tough to beat. And, you're riding for the Friedmans there. Anthony and Sam, Iron Peaky going around in that last race, a good each-way hope. But win, lose or draw, as you said there, Rochelle, you should be proud with what you've been able to achieve. Our little master here at SEN Track, David Daggett, is your biggest fan. He loves you. So you've got a fan there, but you just keep on doing what you're doing, and we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season, but especially in that Lightning Stakes there tomorrow.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, and I'm really grateful for all the support near and far. It's been amazing.
Good on you, Rochelle. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
There's Rochelle Milnes. Miles Fitzton joins us, the Magic Man. G'day, mate.
Hello, G-Man. Hello to the listeners.
It's been a busy show, and just having a look at the trials there, they've all trialled pretty well. Private Eye, Bonita Queen, Lady Shenandoah was just sent around for a quiet look, and so was Charles Wolf there. So these trials at Warwick Farm, you'll be catching up with our trial team there next week. But starting to heat up now, the carnival just around the corner.
Certainly is when you see the better horses return. And look, you make it what you will, some of the early trials, but we'll do our best to try and map a few of them out. You've done a pretty good job so far of getting where some of the better horses are going. So maybe even some future plays coming in the next few weeks.
No, that'll be a lot of fun because the listeners love the future plays when you can try and work out where these gallopers are going. I got a couple of. We didn't get J-Mac on today. I think we'll get him on later on. You could get him on, but I reckon he'll try and get down to the weight there for Autumn Glow in a handicap.
Well, she's
1,600 metres Epsom.
She's going to win somewhere.
Well,
she had the interruption.
Is that the best? Is that the best push you can get of all time if Macca's got a waist for a race like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, we've debated it before between the Treasure of the Moment, Aliana.
Yes.
Autumn Glow sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think what's really fascinating is what we're going to see at the other end. In these Caulfield Cups, horses like Where Does Duke DeSessa after his
can't win another race
after his best preparation because he'll be handicapped, right?
Correct. So
but therefore there's another horse there called Middle Earth that's showing a fair bit.
Yes,
we're just starting to see the best of light infantry, man. That area, it's sort of Antino's now at his peak.
I debated
the changing of the guard.
I debated that with Sammy Hyland the other day, Mickey Gunn and Ewan Crook with Love It or Leave It. Kieran Maher, well, he's coming off his best ever season, $60 million in prize money, won an Everest and a few of the major grand final races.
He won an Everest and a Caulfield Cup on the same day.
Correct. Amazing.
We're in there.
For the big grand final Group 1 races, you look at his team this year and he's a chance, there's no doubt about it, but what price do you give him to win one of those big grand final races? And when you talk about grand final races, you talk about the Flemington races, the Coolmore, of course, during the Flemington Carnival, then you work your way back, Cox Plate, Caulfield Cup, Golden Eagle, Melbourne Cup, of course. You've got the Everest, those grand final races. I reckon the King Charles is in amongst them because they're grand final races like for Charles Wolf and that. I wonder how many of those races he will win this spring.
Well, just take, say, the 4 Melbourne. So go Melbourne Cup, Cox Plate.
Well, he won't win a Cox Plate with light infantry man.
Caulfield Cup. But we're talking about, say, 3 or 4 of those. Like, I'd back it. If you'd said to me now, which trainer do you think will win the Caulfield Cup, I'd say Kieran Maher will win the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah.
And probably it'd be my number 1 seed in Australia for the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's with Middle Earth, and he's got a couple of other imports.
Well, he gets Zardozi too.
Yeah, but she's not winning a Group 1 Melbourne Cup.
You never know.
No, you never know.
You never know.
I think Chris Waller, he's got the best team I've ever seen going into a spring.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, have you ever seen he's like got the dream team.
And it's going to be fascinating, like them and their racing management about where they place these horses and how they go about it. Fascinating.
Aliana will go down the Cox Plate path, I reckon. Listening to Chris when we chatted to him. I don't know if you'll have...
She'll run a mighty second or third.
to Via Sistina.
Yeah.
He'll have horses like... Autumn Glow will go to the Epsom. Lady Shenandoah, I don't know what she'll do. I don't know who his Everest horse is. It could be Lady Shenandoah. It could be Jolly Star.
Be Jolly Star, wouldn't it?
It could be. But Kayin Rising's going to be winning that, I reckon.
Well, it'd be mighty hard to beat.
Yeah.
Saw the announcement to Jimmy Star with Tab. That's good.
That is good for Jimmy. Like, he's been a great horse, hasn't he? He's exciting, Jimmy. He is.
We backed him on debut at Bendigo Cup Day.
He'll be suited to Kayin Rising turning up for an Everest as well. So, Miles, you're in this seat all next week.
Hey,
I'll look a couple of weeks,
3
weeks.
I'll look after her for you. Louis and I will. We won't change anything up. Maybe a few of the tunes.
Yeah, well, you're not allowed. We've got new...
we can't change the tunes?
No, I don't
Maddie's just given me the death eye.
No, sorry. Don't get me kicked off air, Milo. Have a great day.
You too, mate.